All right, and let me bring over QA. Terry, uh, really look forward, really appreciate that feedback. I hope that we get to hear more from you. And if there is any items that you, like, dislike, or think changes should be made, that's something our team really wants to hear. We're developing this platform for reporters, and we really want to, make it as useful as possible. We have another question from Carla. Is your platform being used yet? Yes, our platform's been widely adopted. We're actually one of the premier remote deposition platforms on the market. Like I had said earlier, we've already been recognized by the Duke Law School's legal. Sorry, I misspoke there. We've already been recognized by Duke Law School's Duke Law Tech Lab and the American Bar Association with their Legal Tech for a Change initiative. Carrie, I really appreciate that feedback. And, we really want to just make this even more useful for the reporters. Another point of feedback from Carla. When we have busy hands writing, how do we hit the button? That's a really good point. That's generally why we hope that on the record is hit before you start typing and clicked only after you take your fingers off the keyboard for a rest. Additionally, we are looking at how we can implement hotkeys to try and make it even faster and easier. We want this to be extremely easy for attorneys so they don't struggle to join. And we want to build in the features that reporters need so that we can make this job as smooth and easy for you while we're doing these remote matters. So we try not to do anything that encourages crosstalk, but that is a really good point there, Carla. All right. This is a really great question, Kathy. Any feedback on if remote depositions will continue after the pandemic is over? So that's actually something that I've talked to a lot of people about and written about a little bit. We really expect a lot of remote depositions to continue to move forward. However, we expect the most challenging type of remote to take over as the leader in the marketplace, and that's going to be the hybrid remote. So what we saw pre-pandemic was a huge number of these depositions being same room. That was the status quo. That was the default. Then we saw a pause in depositions for a couple months, and when people realized that they had to keep going with their cases, we switched to all remote, and the industry had a lot of knee-jerk reactions when people were trying to figure it out. That's where the vTestify team, already having worked on this solution, was able to really help assist a lot of different reporting firms and work with a lot of reporters to develop this tool in its entirety as you see it today. We expect, as this vaccination continues to roll out, a lot of these depositions to move to hybrid remote. I had a friend who was working at Cravath, Swain & Moore. He was working on that Apple Qualcomm case and was continuously being flown across the country for matter-of-fact depositions with witnesses where they generally wouldn't even know any of the answers to the questions he was asking. That was really tiring for him, extremely expensive for Qualcomm in that case. And what ended up happening was when we switched this full remote, they noticed that attorneys could stay on that case and work longer, not have burnout from all that travel time, especially on East Coast, West Coast flights. And finally, that remote depositions could work for them. A lot of people were concerned. And while you'll always want to take a deposition with that high-level witness face-to-face, some of these matter-of-fact depositions, remote works. And in many instances, it's very convenient for the reporters to be able to take multiple jobs where they can work remotely. At least that's some of the feedback I've gotten. So what we expect to see is a hybrid remote, where the witness and witness's counsel will be in the same room, which can cause audio issues, where noticing counsel and third parties may continue to remain remote, simply out of the cost savings and convenience factors. Because of that, we're trying to build out more technologies that will address these hybrid remote issues while building in the feature sets that reporters and attorneys really request. And Tim, I see you have one more question. When a witness is full screen or pinned and the exhibit is brought up, does this force a change in the positioning of the witness's window? It does not. So the witness is going to stay, let's say they're pinned at the top, and you have that exhibit. If, once that's brought up, it's not going to change that witness's location. Now, if you do have the witness full screen and somebody introduces a exhibit, it's not going to take you out of full screen so that you can see that exhibit, which I think is why you were asking the question about, can I move the full screen around?